Greetings everybody, today we'll talk about one of the rarest W124 AMGs and the real numbers of how many W124 AMGs were actually made. Also we will talk about why some of the AMG models worth almost $1 million and everything you need to know for showing off your knowledge even in the hardcore Mercedes fan circles. W124 E500 is considered to be the holiest Mercedes today. All that thanks to W124 300E called Hammer. But the first W124 AMG was not 5-liter V8 or 5.5-liter V8 or even 6-liter V8. It wasn't a V8 or a V6. First W124 AMG was actually based on E230. It was called 230 AMG in 1984. It had the 2.3-liter 4-cylinder natural aspirated engine with single overhead cam, 2 valves per cylinder, and the stock engine developed 136 brake horsepower and 204 Nm of torque, and it was called M102. AMG took stock M102 and increased diameters of intake channels and exhaust channels. Also changed the timing of 8 valves to give it more air, increased pressure in cylinders, and after all that, power increased to 160 brake horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. Because engine was basically stock engine, and until 3500 RPM engine felt basically dead, but after that it sounded great and gave all that power instantly to help reach 100 km in 8.6 seconds. And before the modification time was 10.9 seconds. After experimenting, AMG put 6-liter V8 into their W124, but for now we will talk about straight 6 engines and later in the video we will cover all the V8 engines. After the 2.3 it was time for 3.2-liter straight 6 engine. AMG took base M103 that had 3 liters and 6 cylinders and 12 valves that generated 180 brake horsepower and 255 Nm of torque. So AMG did all the same things that they did to the M102, and after the AMG treatment, M103 developed 234 brake horsepower and 370 Nm of torque. After that, AMG did the 3.4-liter straight 6, AMG took the M104 and installed new crankshaft and new pistons, did some work with the engine management system, power increased from 231 brake horsepower to 272 brake horsepower. The final version of the 6-cylinder engines were 3.6-liter straight 6, based from M104. After the AMG procedures, it generated 272 brake horsepower and 385 Nm of torque. Also, they used this slightly detuned version of this engine in their new W202 C36 AMG. After the 4-cylinder experience in the 1984, AMG decided to put 6-liter V8 into the W124. AMG took standard M117 5-liter and installed dual overhead cams and bored it out to 5.5 liters, so the power increase was from 300 to 358 brake horsepower. But not many versions of this engine was produced in the W124s, and all that happened in the late 1985. But the same year, Mercedes made 5.6-liter V8. AMG immediately took that engine and increased the size to 6 liters, increased the compression, changed the intakes and exhaust, put their own cams, and all that developed 385 brake horsepower in the Euro version and 375 in the US models. Torque was increased up to 566 Nm, and all that came in 4000 RPM. The top speed of this monster was 303 km, and 0 to 100 km happened in 5 seconds. This car had higher top speed than Ferrari Testarossa, Lamborghini Countach, Porsche 911 Turbo, and in those supercars those high speeds were terrifying and very uncomfortable, but Mercedes delivered you the speed and luxury and AC and all the space you ever need. Of course, on the track, those supercars would destroy Hammer. As seen in this video, Hammer couldn't even keep up with the Honda NSX. It destroyed on the straight lines, but on the track the sports car went way ahead of it. Mercedes Hammer existed in 3 different types: sedan, coupe and wagon. The original number of 6-liter V8 Hammers were produced only 54, but there were some cases when private customer took their standard W124 and asked AMG to make it as fast as possible. And according to AMG data system, 149 W124s with the E60 engine and full treatment were produced. This car was so fast that media decided to call it Hammer. The cost of Hammer in the 80s was insane. 911 Turbo was approximately $69,000, Ferrari Testarossa was $134,000, Lamborghini Countach $138,000, and Mercedes AMG Hammer was $167,000. Also, each Hammer is very unique, so today the average price of Hammer is $600,000, because everybody had their own specification on leather, trim, engine, body kit and so on. Hammer was assembled in 3 factories in USA, Germany and Japan. In USA and Japan, VIN codes were from the Mercedes factories, so the VIN codes were the same as the stock cars. But AMG in Germany scratched the old VIN code and put their new VIN code, and the starting letters of that VIN code were AMG, so German Hammers are more expensive today. In the 80s, it was the fastest Ford sedan in the world. Now let's talk about exact amount of W124s AMG that were produced. The E32 AMG wagon, the left-hand drive, was produced only in 1 unit. The E34 AMG wagons, left-hand drive, were produced 83 units. The E36 AMG wagons were made 172 in total. 159 were left-hand drive and 13 were right-hand drive. As I said earlier, the total numbers of AMG E60 were 149 units, and all of them were left-hand drive. E36 AMG saloons were made 8 units only, and all of them were right-hand drive. The E34 AMG saloons were produced in 132 units. 15 of them were the right-hand drive and 118 were the left-hand drive. E36 Cabrio were produced 68 units. 52 units were left-hand drive and 16 units were the right-hand drive. E34 Cabrios were made in total of 38 and all of them were the left-hand drive. E36 Coupes were 69. 43 were left-hand drives and 26 were right-hand drives. I actually drove one of them. I have a review, link is below, so enjoy it. The E34 Coupes were made 133 and all of them were left-hand drive. In total, AMG produced 907 W124s, but the final E60 that were made from 1993 till 1994 and something 1995 is unknown. The official number is 45, and out of the 45, 12 were limited edition. One of them is selling in Dubai for $400,000, and those 12 limited editions are always monitored by Mercedes every day, even right now. But those numbers 45 and 12 limited editions are records in the AMG. But unfortunately, nobody knows the number of other E60s, because many of the E500 owners took them to the AMG and paid a hefty sum to convert them into E60s. So approximate numbers of actual W124 E60s AMG that were made from E500 is from 400 to 700 units. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about my video and what is your favorite W124. Also, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to my journey to buy W140 500 in black color that I'm saving up right now. Take care and bye bye.